Hi, this video is called How to Promote Your Online Course Using YouTube from the Online Growth Ladder. So if you've created an online course, then all of a sudden you've got to market it and sell it. So in this video, I'm going to look at how YouTube can help you build an audience for your course and help you market it as well. And then in a moment, I'm going to talk about how YouTube can also help you to fine-tune your content and explore other services and other products or other online training courses as well. So here's the problem with online training courses, and this is the problem that I encountered when I did my first course. The problem is that you spend a lot of time investigating which is the best product to build your course. Is it Teachable? Is it Kajabi? Is it some other product? But you sort of forget about how you're going to market and how you're going to sell the product at the end. And there's loads of videos or there's loads of information around with these products that show you how in theory you're going to market and sell your product. But in reality, when it actually comes down to actually trying to market and sell your product, it's actually quite a challenging process. So you might be an expert in your field, but like any other product or service, you need to build an audience for your products. And what the online training companies do is they just make it really, really simple for you. So you build your course, you start creating your email list. I don't know how you do that because I haven't actually got an audience at that stage. You pre-sell your course. Okay, so you haven't really got an audience yet, have you? So that's difficult. And then, so the truth is, getting your course off the ground is actually quite hard. And so people focus on the wrong end of the process. The actual creating of the course itself, you're an expert in your subject, so the creating of the course is actually quite simple to do. It's the marketing and selling of the course that is the hard bit, I think. So why do you need to build an audience, and how do you build an audience, in fact? So you're clearly an expert in your field. You've created your course. You've got a strong network of peers in your profession. You're probably very well respected. You've got probably 1,000 followers on your LinkedIn, etc. But your peers are not necessarily your audience for your course, are they? Not necessarily. You might have some existing customers in which that you might be able to sell your course to, which is great. So that you have got a starting point. But a lot of people, when they're starting out to do their online training course, they don't have an audience at all. So they've got to build that up from zero. And it's just the same as any other website or any business that you've got to build your audience, and everybody starts with zero. So you've got to build that up. You've got to build that from scratch. And that's going to take a bit of effort to build that up. So you need to build traffic for your online course, or wherever it's hosted, whether it's hosted on your website or whether there's a link from your website, etc. So and when you're creating traffic, you want warm traffic. So you want people that are looking for your sort of content and your sort of training. So you've got to build up that audience. And that, so you need to be looking for people that are searching for your sort of course. So that means you need to be on Google and you need to be on YouTube, basically. And YouTube can help you with your Google searching. So you may have looked at blogging, and that's certainly one of the things that's recommended with some of the teaching, the online course sites that you do this thing where you build out your blog and you start guest blogging, all that sort of thing. But SEO and building up your website and blogging, all that stuff, that takes a very, very long time to build up all of the search engine juice, the SEO content, etc. It takes a long time for you to create that if you're just going to do that with normal SEO and normal blogging. So why would you start a YouTube channel then? So the reason is this strategy is that you would create similar content to your training course, basically. So you start a channel and you create some videos. And of course, in the online world, you need to establish your authority in this new world. You need to establish your credibility with potential customers. And people are far more likely to buy from you if they've seen you talking and they've seen similar content to what your online course is around. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be on camera, although that certainly would help with online courses and those sort of things. But just think about it. Have you ever bought services or courses or anything from people that you've seen on their podcasts or on their YouTube videos or whatever, or even on the TV, etc.? It's a really powerful way of getting your message across, and it really creates that authority with your potential customers. So in summary then, the process of setting up a YouTube channel works like this. You start your channel, so you can set the channel up pretty quickly. It takes about an hour or maybe less, depends whether you've got branding or that sort of thing to do. You then you plan and create a volume of videos in a few weeks. And typically you're talking somewhere between 10 and 20 videos in order for it to sort of start taking off. So, they don't need to be hugely long videos, maybe 10 minutes. Is a good sort of level, and you need to build a solid foundation in YouTube and Google. And so, if it's done correctly with the correct method, and we'll come on to that a bit later, you can create and establish your authority in your niche. It demonstrates your expertise in the content, and you can build a solid set of rankings in YouTube and in Google. And the whole idea is that you're building your audience organically, and you're creating this know, like, and trust with your audience. And you can do this pretty quickly actually in YouTube. So, if you're doing this, you can do this over certainly over a few weeks and a few months. It doesn't take like 6, 9, 12 months to do it. Obviously, you have to start at the beginning, but you can literally do this in weeks and months if you put your mind to it and you really start creating the content. And YouTube has so got a lot of advantages over other approaches. So you don't need millions of subscribers. I've done some other videos on why the benefits of using YouTube over other strategies. But it's not about building millions of subscribers. It's about building a small group, a small audience, step by step. As I said, you can do it. You can start to make progress in 10 to 20 videos. About 10 minutes long. I mean, sometimes you might need to go into more depth. And basically, the more content you create, the more traffic you create. And the important point to make as well is that because people are searching for your content in YouTube and in Google, you can rank your videos in Google as you rank them in YouTube. Because they're searching for your traffic, your content, then that means that it's warm traffic that you're pushing over to your online course. And also, of course, because what I mean by warm traffic is that your potential customers, the people that are going to buy your courses, they've seen your content, and they've seen that it starts to solve your problem. So they're much more likely to buy when they move over into your online course sales process. And YouTube can be really, really effective actually for seeing how your audience engages with your content. I mean, I've done this a lot in one of my channels, is that you try content out in YouTube and you see what works, what's going to work in the online training work. What it's really good for actually is finding out what your dud content is, basically. Content you think's really going to work, or that there's a real bit of a market for. You try it out on YouTube and it just dies flat, basically, or you need to tune it or change it or whatever. So it's really interesting actually. So you can really experiment with different types of content. You can expand it a bit. You can move into sort of slightly different areas, so you can try and find different audiences. And of course, a big important thing to say with YouTube is your audience is global, so it's not just limited to your own country or even your own local market. It's a global audience that you're dealing with. And also it enables you to test the buying process, and because you can build up your traffic quite quickly, you can build up volumes of traffic. You can try different scenarios and test out different processes for closing the sale process. And also YouTube is free, so you're not paying for adverts on Facebook or something like that. So you're getting potentially buying customers, moving over into your online training course sales process. So you're not paying for adverts to get those sort of customers to come over to your sales process. Okay, so I hope that's shown you how you can use YouTube to really help you market your online training course and really market your overall business and build up your audience, and how it can help you to fine-tune your content. It's certainly worth a look, and obviously Google's really pushing video hard in the future, so it's definitely going to be and play a more and more important part of content in the future, and help you get in front of the right customers for your online training course. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I do lots of similar content about online marketing for small businesses. Please subscribe by clicking on the button below and leave any comments below. I'd love to hear you, how you're getting on creating your online training courses and how you're using YouTube to market those courses as well. So thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.